I am very sorry to say that I have been separated from you for long due to lockdown. And how long it will continue, we can't say. The number of patients is increasing by leaps and bounds at some districts, at some provinces. So we cannot tell perfectly, definitely, when the lockdown will come to an end and we shall get full freedom. However, I have to keep in mind your examination and with a view to preparing you all for your examination. Every day I am trying to send something for you which are very much useful both for MA third semester as well as for fourth semester, because examination of third semester has not been held. They are also preparing, and freshly some students after the completion of the second semester has started learning the course of third semester. So I would like to say you all that both the students of third semester and fourth semester will study the same thing that I am going to send you. Today I am going to tell you something about the poems of Tagore from Gitanjali, which are in the syllabus of third year semester. But third year semester has not been completed for the new one who is preparing. For the old persons, those who are now going to complete fourth semester, have completed third semester. After that they have taken the fourth semester. But as they are not sitting now for the examination of third semester, they also need to learn all these things that I am going to deliver. Today I am going to tell you poem number 35 of the Gitanjali by Tagore. And Gitanjali, you know, is a very famous poem for which Tagore has got Nobel Prize. Tagore, you know, is a great patriot. In many of his poems, his feelings for the wretched people of the country, for the downtrodden people of the country, has been exposed. In many poems, he has prayed to God for the countrymen and for the country, to make the country dignified as well as the people well cultured and well civilized. The poem number 35 was written before independence. You know, that time India was under British rule and the suppression and oppression both were constant. There was no end of the suffering in the cruel hand of the Britishers. And India was not free from the cruel clutches. That time, what should be free India? Tagore perhaps imagined, and he has dropped down his idea. He has dropped down his idea here. You read the poem, where the mind is without fear. He wants to get the India, his dream is to get the India fearless. There must not be fear in the mind of the citizens of India, so that they may speak out anything that is truth. He prays to God to make India free from all kinds of orthodoxical views which are hindrance on the way of development of the country. Because it was a period when reformation was going on, social reformation was going on. There were many orthodoxical views in the society, and these were the setbacks for the progress of the people. So he has prayed to God here to dispel all those things out of the society, so that there will be a flow of clear, stream-like truth, stream-like thoughts. Again he prays that the knowledge should be free from all kinds of burdens and hindrances, and the people will try to get the truth all the time. It means the poet wants to establish Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram in the free country. It is his dream. The whole poem has been written down in a single sentence, that is complex sentence. There is only one principal clause at the end that has been given, and others are all subordinate clauses. The poem has been laid down in a lyrical mood, although it is a modern poem. And the poet's thought for free India has been well expressed here. He wanted to get free India as India free from all kinds of burdens, orthodoxical views, and with truth, with honesty, with liberty, with the freedom of speech, etc., etc. If you go through the notes that I have given you, you will understand it very easily. This is the theme of the poem. Okay, I think you have understood it, and if you go through the poem, you will understand more. Thank you. Okay, next.